Yo, what's going on, everyone? DBougie86 here, or as most of my listeners know me as Derek. But I'm back finally with a brand new series that I'm starting up. I know I've been not really doing any videos lately. It's just because my work and stuff is really busy during this time of year because of Black Friday and the holidays and all that good stuff. It's kind of a curse thing with retail. But I'm back finally, and I'm actually going to be starting up a new series starting today because it's a series that I want to be doing and I want to do for you guys. And this is the Italian cinema series, which implies is that I will be doing Italian films only in this series. And not just horror, I'm going to be doing some Italian crime for you guys and some spaghetti westerns. So I hope you enjoy it. Also, I wanted to add that I'm planning on having a few guest hosts in this series in the future, which is going to be very rad because I want to get to hear other people's thoughts on these films. So look out for those guests in the future of this series. Now, what I got for you guys today is actually a horror film. To start off the series, it's one I had in the collection for a while, and it's been released by Rarovideo, which is a company in the States, and I believe it's also European. Not really sure, but I know it's a sub label of Kino in the States. And they release a lot of good Italian cinema films. But what the odd thing about this film, it's actually a newer film. They're mostly known for their retro Italian films. And this film's from 2010, and it goes by the title of Ubaldo Terzani Horror Show, if you see that title right there. This film is directed by Gabriel Albanese, who I think this is actually his second feature. I know one of his films, I believe it's called Last House in the Woods, was released through Ghost House Pictures through their line Ghost House Presents, which I haven't seen that film, so I can't really tell you how I thought about that. But I actually want to check it out now because I'll get into that later. Now, the cool thing about this film is it's actually based off something that happened in Albanese's career. While he was trying to make his first film, his producer gave him the idea he wanted him to work with a writer, and that's where he got the idea for this film and decided to make a film out of it. That idea and that experience that he had while in his early film career. Now, the film follows this young director, Alessio, who's 25. His producer wants him to get a writer or work with a writer because he wants him to make a brand new type of horror film, not like the usual splatter. It's actually a very cool scene in the beginning where they actually mention Lamberto Bava, the 80s and stuff with the splatter and stuff. And the producer implies and asks him a question. Have you ever heard of Ubaldo Terzani, who is a very popular Italian horror author? And it sets up this appointment to work with Terzani on a screenplay for this project that Alessio wants to work on. Now, we meet some few minor characters, like a few of Alessio's friends and his girlfriend Sarah, who's having a very rough relationship with him because he's always away and very distant because he's dedicated to his work. And what happens is Alessio ends up going to Terzani's house and meeting him and working on the screenplay with him. What happens during that time in the film is he finds out Terzani actually has this dark side to him, and he's trying to figure out what's going on and before it's too late. and it's a very cat and mouse type story between Alessio and Terzani through the film. That's pretty much the main plot. I don't want to give too much away because the ending is very spoilerish, and I don't want to give anything away that happens in the film. Now, my full thoughts on it. First up, if you could hear like in the background, that is some of like the atmospheric score that plays throughout this film, and it's by a composer. Where is it? I don't want to. Valerio Landini, who is a composer I don't really know much about, but you get to know his music through this film, because right after that opening scene between the producer and Alessio, there's this awesome opening credit sequence with this awesome like theme that starts playing, and it's very synthy and awesomeness and stuff, and I really enjoy that. And now let's talk about the casting and the characters. The two main leads in this film play Alessio and Terzani. They're really, really good. Terzani's like, when you first introduced to him, he's smoking a cigar. He's very mysterious. His approach to Alessio really dwells into his character a lot, which I really enjoyed. And the young girl who plays Sarah, Lauren Gianni, she's really beautiful and does a really well job of playing off these two characters, and the relationship between her and Alessio is very pristine and very distant, but you can see them as a couple. Now let's talk about like the effects. The effects are done by Sergio Stavalli. If you don't know who he is, he's actually a very great legendary makeup effects artist from Italy who's worked on tons of my favorite films like Demons 2, Cemetery Man, The Church, Tenebrae, the list goes on. He's worked with some of the greats, and the gore in this, even though it's to a minimum, I'll explain why in a minute, it's really well done. The reason why it's no like minimum gore, because it's not really a gory film per se. And what happens is, after Alessio starts reading Terzani's novels before he meets him, he starts having these wicked, like graphic nightmares, and these nightmares are wicked graphic, like gore galore, and these little snippets of nightmares that we see of Alessio's mind. And it's really well done, and it's very atmospheric with this music playing, and I really enjoyed it. Now, my only gripe with this film in general, is there might be a little few scenes that kind of drag, in my opinion. They're very like, they could have been cut down to get the story flowing, but it's not too bad because the story is very short. This is a very short film. It only runs 127. I always say that wrong. 87 minutes long. I was gonna say an hour and 27 minutes. You know me, I'm silly. And it's really gets to the point, but there may be like two scenes in general where I think they could have cut like maybe like a few seconds off of it or a minute, because it did drag the film a little bit, in my opinion, those scenes. But other than that, the film is beautifully shot with this awesome intro and some great color schemes. And there's actually a lot of references to other Italian films in this film, like, because Alessio is a director, he has some awesome like Italian cinema posters on his wall in his room. Like one in particular is The Boss by Fernando Di Leo that I pointed out. So if I had to rate this film for the first time I watched it, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's nothing new to the genre of like this subgenre of Italian films, like it's basically a giallo, but it's really well done, and I like the simplicity of it. So I do recommend everyone check this one out. It has an awesome ending to it. Ubaldo Terzani horror show, 7.5 out of 10. Check it out. Alright, guys, that's all I got for the first episode of the Italian cinema series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be back with another one soon. I think I'm going to be doing, like, Italian crime next. It came from the 80s. We'll be back too. Sorry, I've been slacking on that channel. Like I said, I've been busy, guys. So, I'll see you next time. Peace out.